When you love a cat, it's easy to assume love is all they feel from you. But cats don't judge us by intention. They judge us by safety. And some of the sweetest little habits in a human home can feel overwhelming, confusing, or even threatening to the animal curled up right beside us. 1. Why nose kisses can backfire. It usually starts as a tiny ritual. You lean in before work, maybe while your coffee is still on your breath, and you give your cat a quick kiss right on the face. To us, that's tenderness. To a lot of cats, it's a whole lot happening at once. Your face is close, your scent is strong, your breath is warm and sudden. And the part of their body you're moving toward is one of the most sensitive places they have. That's why so many cats pull back, squint, or turn away. It doesn't always mean they don't love you. It may just mean the affection is arriving in a language that feels too intense. And yes, some cats really do seek out face contact. That's the nuance. The question isn't whether your cat ever gets near your face. It's whether they're choosing that closeness, or whether you're imposing it because it feels sweet to you. If your cat leans into forehead rubs or slow blinks instead, that's not rejection. That's communication. They're just asking for a gentler version. If your cat has a weird little affection ritual that only makes sense to the two of you, drop it in the comments. Cat people always have the best stories. 2. What happens when you wake a cat? You see your cat sprawled across the couch, one paw over their face, fully asleep, and you want that moment for yourself. So you pet them, or pick them up, or call their name because they're just too adorable to leave alone. But cats sleep a lot for a reason. Their rest isn't laziness, it's recovery. Interrupt that often enough, and even a friendly cat can start getting touchy, jumpy, or avoidant. This is one of those moments where a cat parent can confuse access with trust. Just because your cat is near you doesn't mean they want interaction right now. Sometimes what feels most loving to a cat is not attention, it's peace. And once a cat starts feeling like your touch arrives on your schedule, not theirs, they begin watching for you instead of relaxing around you. That tiny shift comes back in a bigger way later. 3. Why yelling doesn't work. Every cat parent has had that moment. You hear the crash in the other room. You find the plant tipped over, dirt everywhere, and your cat sitting nearby like a tiny chaos consultant. Your instinct is human and immediate. You raise your voice. But yelling doesn't explain the problem to a cat. It only changes the emotional weather in the room. What your cat notices is not, I knocked over the plant. What they notice is, my person just became loud and hard to read. That's why yelling creates the wrong lesson. Instead of connecting the stress to the behavior, the cat starts connecting the stress to you. And once fear enters the relationship, behavior can get stranger, not better. Cats do learn. They just learn through patterns, setup, and reward. And so the better question is never, how do I punish this? It's what made this possible and what do I want my cat to do instead? 4. When holding turns into stress. Some cats love being held. Some tolerate it for 5 seconds. Some go rigid the second their feet leave the ground. And a lot of people miss that difference because the cat isn't fighting dramatically. They're just enduring it. Chosen contact and forced contact are not the same experience. A cat climbing into your lap is one thing. A cat being scooped up because you need a cuddle is something else. For many cats, restraint means loss of control. They can't reposition. They can't leave. They can't decide how long the moment lasts. So instead of bonding, the interaction starts teaching them that hands are unpredictable. Then people say, my cat isn't affectionate anymore, but the cat may still want closeness. They just want it in forms that leave them dignity. We're sitting next to you, pressing against your leg, sleeping near your head. Love for a cat often comes with an exit route. 5. The problem with spray bottles. The spray bottle feels clever because it seems instant. Cat on the counter, quick spray, problem solved. Except usually it isn't solved. It's just pushed out of sight. What many cats learn is not. Counters are off limits. They learn, weird bad thing happens when my human is nearby. So they avoid the behavior in front of you, then go right back to it when you leave. That's the hidden cost of punishment with cats. It gives people the relief of doing something without teaching the safer replacement. If the counter is rewarding because it has food, smells, warmth, height, or a better view, the real fix is changing access and giving your cat a better legal option. A stool by the window, a cat tree by the kitchen, clear surfaces, covered food. Reward for choosing the approved spot. Slower in the moment, stronger in the relationship. 6. Why hand play becomes biting. It always looks harmless when they're little. A kitten grabs your fingers, bunny kicks your wrist, and everybody laughs because it's tiny and ridiculous. The trouble is, kittens are practicing, and if your hands are part of the game, your hands become part of the target list too. Later, when that same cat gets excited, they don't magically understand that human skin stopped being toy material. They do what worked before. They chase moving fingers under blankets. They swat at hands reaching past them. This is one of the easiest problems to prevent and one of the most annoying to undo. Wand toys, kicker toys, tossed mice, puzzle feeders, all of that lets your cat act like a predator without turning your body into prey. And if your cat already bites during play, don't make it dramatic. Freeze, end the game, redirect later. You want the pattern to be, toys keep the fun going, skin makes the fun disappear. 7. When the food bowl is in the wrong spot. A lot of cat stress has nothing to do with affection and everything to do with setup. One of the easiest examples is where food and water live. If the bowl is shoved beside the litter box in a noisy hallway or next to the washing machine, your cat may still eat there. But eating isn't the same as feeling comfortable. Cats like calm when they eat. They like being able to scan the room, and they usually prefer their toilet area separated from where they eat and drink. Sometimes people call a cat picky when it's really environment. The bowl is too exposed, the water is stale, the location smells wrong, the dog rushes past, the room echoes. The first sign may just be reduced appetite or not drinking enough. A tiny household change can fix a lot here. Quiet spot, fresh water, space between litter and food, less chaos. 8. Why the belly is a trap. The exposed belly confuses people because it looks like an invitation. Your cat rolls over, stretches out, maybe even purrs, and every loving instinct in you says, yes, this is my moment. But very often that belly display is not a request for touch. It's a display of comfort. Your cat feels safe enough to expose the most vulnerable part of their body in your presence. That's huge. It just doesn't automatically mean they want your hand there. That's why so many belly rub attempts end the same way. Grab, kick, bite, offended human. We translated trust into access, and those are not the same thing. Of course, some cats genuinely love belly rubs, but the rule isn't never touch the belly, it's watch what happens next. Does your cat lean in and stay loose? Or do they tense and tolerate it? That difference matters. 9. The changes you shouldn't ignore. This may be the most important one of all, because a lot of so-called behavior problems are actually pain, stress, or illness wearing a costume. The cat who suddenly stops jumping to the bed, the cat who hides more, the cat who starts growling when touched, skips meals, misses the litter box, drinks more, grooms less, or becomes clingy overnight. Those aren't personality updates, those are clues. Cats are famous for masking discomfort. By the time something looks dramatic, it may have been building quietly for a while. That's why good cat parents learn their cat's baseline. What's normal for this cat? Once you know that, the small shifts get louder, and this is where guilt helps nobody. You just want to be observant enough to say, this is new, this is off. And this is worth checking. 10. The open window risk. There are some mistakes that build slowly, and then there are mistakes that happen once. An open window with a weak screen falls into that second category. A bird flashes by, a bug lands near the edge, a sudden sound startles your cat at the wrong second, and the myth that cats always land safely falls apart fast. What makes this one dangerous is how normal it feels. The cat has sat there 100 times. The screen has seemed fine for months. Nothing bad has happened, so the setup starts feeling safe. But safety is what still holds when instinct hits. If your cat loves windows, don't take the view away. Secure it properly, strong screens, safe perches, fresh air without gambling. And maybe that's the thread running through all of this. Your cat does not need perfect love from you. They need readable love. Love that feels safe in their body. Love that leaves room for choice. Once you notice that, you become easier for your cat to trust.